Slow down, Thomas.
Woohoo!
Slow down, Thomas. Slow down.
Keep up, you two. Come along, come along.
We're coming along. We're coming along.
Thomas and Friends, the adventure continues.
Right on time.
Good morning, Thomas.
Hello, Edward. Wait, I thought James was supposed to be taking that train.
He was, but he's still too afraid to go even near the trucks after what happened.
I don't really blame him. It was a rather nasty accident.
Well, I must be off, Thomas. James and I are supposed to be taking the local train.
Bye, Edward.
Ah, there you are, little Edward. Be a good engine and shunt my coaches, will you?
Sorry, Gordon. I have my own work to do. Perhaps you'll have to fetch your own for a change, huh?
What?
Come on, Gordon. We're going to be late.
Unbelievable. Thomas goes away to run a silly little branch line and leaves me, to fetch my own coaches. It's undignified. Tender engines don't shunt.
If you complain less about it, you could do it in half the time. Oh. James was sitting in the sheds. He had been feeling ill since his accident with the trucks and his old wooden brake blocks. The Fat Controller had come to cheer him up.
You're a special mixed traffic engine, James. You can pull trucks and coaches with ease, but I understand you're still rather shaken up by your accident. That's why I gave you this red paint. I hope it makes you feel better.
Yes, sir, it has.
Now I want you to double head the local passenger train with Edward today, just to help you get back into the swing of things.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now that's a good engine. Edward will show you where the coaches are. Now if you excuse me, I have a package from my mother in my office I must attend to.
Ready to go, James?
Indeed.
So James and Edward went to find the coaches. Edward knew all about coaches and trucks. James, on the other hand, was less experienced. He had only ever pulled Annie and Clarabelle before Thomas arrived, and had never pulled the local before.
You'll do fine, James. Just be careful with them. They don't like to be bumped. Trucks are silly and noisy. They need to be bumped from time to time to be reminded on how to behave. But coaches will get cross. They'll pay you out.
Thank you, Edward. I'll be sure to be careful. Looks like the same can't be said for Gordon.
It's not funny. Tender engines are not meant to shunt, Edward.
But I'm a tender engine, and I shunt.
Well,
Oh!
Hey, be careful!
Oops. Sorry.
Either way, I'm a big express engine. I shouldn't have to shunt.
Whatever you say, Gordon.
James and Edward brought the coaches to the platform. The station was very crowded.
Wow! Doesn't he look splendid?
Oh, why, thank you. I suppose I am quite splendid.
James was so excited, he let off steam.
Whoa! Oh no, my new hat!
Oh no. Oh, that's the whistle. We better get going, Edward.
Whoa! What? Slow down, James. Don't push. There's no hurry.
James the Red Engine, get back here!
But James and Edward were too far away to hear. They were making good time, but the coaches were not pleased at all.
Hey! Slow down! You're going too fast!
But James didn't listen, he just wanted to run away.
James! Stop at once! We're nearing the station!
What? Oh my! Well, that's one and a headlamp for those old wooden brakes.
You stop me on the platform, you silly red engine!
Bother.
Soon enough, they were puffing through the countryside once again. It was a beautiful day. James couldn't help but forget about the Fat Controller's top hat. Presently, they pulled smoothly into the station where Thomas was waiting with Annie and Clarabelle.
Hello, James. Feeling better?
Yes, indeed. Much better, in fact.
That's good. Oh, that's my guard. I must be going. I don't know what the Fat Controller would do without me to run this branch line. Good to see you again, James. Bye, Edward.
He certainly has matured.
That night, James puffed happily into the sheds. He had had a good day. But deep down was still worried what the Fat Controller was going to say about his hat.
James the Red Engine, I am not pleased with you in the slightest.
Sir, what happened?
Well, Henry, James here ruined my brand new top hat.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Not good enough, James. Edward, take him away.
So that's why you wanted to leave so quickly. Shame on you, James.
What are you doing, Edward? Edward, slow down. We're never going to make it round that curve.
James, I need a word with you.
Oh dear.
I am not happy with you. You soaked my brand new hat yesterday. If you cannot behave, I will take away your red paint and have you painted blue. Do you understand?
Oh, yes, sir.
Good. Now off to work you go.
Morning, James.
What? Hello, Edward.
My coaches!
Well, well, well. If it isn't the red Oh!
Oh, shut it, you. Come along, come along.
We're coming along. Just don't make such a fuss. Don't make such a fuss.
Gordon is right. Important engines shouldn't have to fetch their own coaches.
Told you.
James brought the coaches to the platform. This time, no one came near him.
Pah! They think Gordon is the only one who can pull coaches. I'll show them. I'll show them.
James puffed quickly out of the station, jerking the coaches as he did.
Hurry, hurry, hurry! Hurry, hurry, hurry!
James quickly made his way out onto the main line, but the coaches weren't happy. As they raced around, they began to sway from side to side.
You're going too fast.
Luggage and baggage fell from their compartments, but James took no notice and tried to go faster. He jerked them once again as he began to speed up. Suddenly, there was a loud hissing sound, and the train began to slow down.
We're going to stop. We're going to stop.
And they did. James was worried.
What's the matter?
Looks like the brakes are hard on. Leak in the pipe, most likely. You banged those coaches enough to make a leak in anything. We better check it out.
James's driver, fireman, and the guard got down and looked at all the brake pipes along the train. It wasn't long till they found it.
Well, how should we mend it? We haven't got a spare, and even if we did, we can't repair it here.
We could try a newspaper and a leather bootlace.
Well, I have a newspaper in my compartment, but where's the bootlace coming from? We haven't got one.
We'll have to ask the passengers.
Well, alright then. Could everyone please step out of the coaches? Idiot. Now, does anyone have a leather bootlace we could use? Ah, Mr. Joblin, I see you have one. May we borrow it, please?
No. I just got these boots yesterday, and I don't want them ruined.
Well, that's it then. I'm afraid this train isn't going any further.
It's just a bootlace. Just go get another one.
Fine. Here, take it.
Oh, how very kind of you, sir.
James's driver quickly patched the leaking pipe, and at last James started once again. That night, the other engines found it very funny when they heard the story of James and the bootlace. But James stayed respectfully silent. The next morning, the Fat Controller came to see James. He wasn't happy at all.
James, I thought you could change your behaviour, but you caused a lot of confusion and delay yesterday with your bootlace stunt.
Yes, sir. I'm very sorry, sir.
Well, you can think about how sorry you are sitting in the shed.
But, sir, who will pull my trains?
Henry will pull your trains today.
Wait, what?
Yes, Henry. I want you to take James's trains today.
Yes, sir.
Ah, that's a good engine. You could learn a thing or two from him, James.
Yeah, learn how to be slow and unreliable.
At Henry puffed out of the sheds and headed off towards the station. When he arrived, his coaches were still in their siding.
How am I supposed to run my line if Henry is always late? Doesn't he realize the Fat Controller depends on me to be on time?
Calm down. You know this was a last-minute change. Henry's bound to be a little late.
And where have you been, Lazy Bones?
I'm sorry I'm late. Had a lot of trouble keeping up steam all day. My system is out of order.
Nonsense. You're too slow. You need exercise.
Oh, nobody understands my feelings.
Lots of people with luggage and parcels transferred over to Thomas's train. Then everything happened at once.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, what are you doing down there, silly? The train is that way.
Oh no.
Come along, we're rather late. Come along, we're rather late.
But Clarabelle didn't want to come along.
We haven't a guard! Thomas! Thomas! We haven't a guard!
Come along, come along.
He's not listening, Clarabelle. Try your brakes. I can't! Not without my guard!
Oh, bother. We were going so nicely, too. What's the holdup?
I don't know. The guard will tell us in a minute.
Where is that guard?
We left them behind!
Oh. Oh, dear.
Wait a minute. Oh, here he comes!
Glad I caught you. I caught you.
Here, have a glass of water.
Thanks, Bob.
I'm so sorry, sir.
Oh, it's alright, Thomas. It wasn't entirely your fault. It was that old lady's umbrella. Look, the signal's down. Come on, let's make up for lost time.
Meanwhile, James was still sitting in the sheds all alone.
Oh dear, I'll never be allowed out again, and no one will ever see my lovely red paint again.
Hello, James. I see you are sorry. If I let you out now, do you promise to behave?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
That's a good engine. People are laughing at my railway, and I do not like that at all.
I'm very sorry, sir.
Yes, well, there are some trucks waiting in the yard. Henry was meant to take them, but since he is doing your passenger trains, I need you to take them to Vickerstown.
Trucks?
Don't worry, James. You'll do fine. Now off you go. Edward is scheduled to come through in a few minutes after you.
Right away, sir.
Well, looky who it is. It's James. Got some bootlaces ready, eh, James?
Hello, James.
James is the big stinky.
Trucks are silly and noisy. They need to be bumped from time to time to be reminded on how to behave.
I can do this.
Oh! We want a proper engine, not the red monster!
Oh, James.
Oh my. I'm sure it's nothing.
What the... Don't tell me it's another brake pipe.
Let's see. Ah, it's just a hot axle box. Oh, I can easily fix that.
Give up! Give up! Give up! You can't pull us! You can't! You can't! Give up! Give up!
I can and I will. 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 I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Will the top ever come? I can and I will. I can and I
Oh no, James, my chain! My chain is break! Whoa! Whoa, James! Whoa!
It's easy now. I've done it. I've done it.
Well done, James. We'll get to the station and you can have a Oh no! They've broken away and they're rowing back down the hill!
Broken away? Edward is meant to be coming along that line. We must stop them.
Hurry! Hurry! Hurry!
Whoa, I don't like this! Stop! Stop!
Oh my!
Oh, what's up? Oh.
Oh, Edward. I'm so sorry. Are you alright?
Yes, James. Everyone is fine. Well, mostly everyone.
I'm sorry, Doris. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, would you like some help, James? I could give you a push if you'd like.
Thank you for the kind offer, Edward. But I can pull them myself.
Good. Don't let them beat you. You're doing well. Go on. You can do it.
I've done it! I've done it! I've done it! I've done it!
Well done, James.
Ah, James!
Oh dear, what will he say?
Well done, James.
Eh?
I was on board Edward's train and I saw everything. You made the most troublesome trucks on the line behave, and I'm proud of you.
But, sir, the trucks broke away and almost caused an accident.
That wasn't your fault, James. We've been meaning to repair old Bucky over there for a while now.
Yay, my doors! My doors! They're back! Oh.
After that, you, James, are a really useful engine and you deserve your red coat.
Oh, sir!
And James just beamed. That night in the sheds, James was very pleased with himself.
And the Fat Controller said, and I quote, James. You are a really useful engine.
Oh, you talk too much, little James. A fine, strong engine like me has something to talk about. I'm the only one who can pull the express.
Actually, Gordon, I'm sure I could do it.
Nonsense. I've pulled expresses for years, and have not once lost my way. I seem to know the right way by instinct. An engine who has to resort to bootlaces on a train would never have the honor to pull such a service.
Wait, what happened to James, Edward?
Oh, James bumped the coaches and broke a brake pipe. He had to use some newspaper and a bootlace to fix it.
A bootlace? Oh! A bootlace.
At least I didn't leave my guard behind.
What? That was one time, and it was an accident.
Okay, everyone. Let's calm down and get some sleep. I'm sure it'll be another busy day tomorrow.
Wake up, little James. It's nearly time for the express. Since you're just doing odd jobs, why don't you run along and fetch my coaches? Don't be late now.
Get your own coaches. Besides, that's not my job. I have other work to do. Thomas, what are you doing?
Well, Gordon has delayed his train so many times in the last few days that the Fat Controller asked me to shunt them before my first train.
And you should do it permanently, little Thomas. Tender engines.
Don't shunt, Gordon, I know.
Ah, yes, that's a good little engine. Run along now.
I wish I was going with them. Oh, it must be lovely to pull the express and fly down the line.
Out of the way, James. Important engines need water too.
Ugh, whatever, Gordon.
Gordon back down on the train. Lots of important people were boarding, including the Fat Controller.
Oh, thank you, Bertram.
You're welcome, Mother.
Glad to see you like your new hat. I saw it in the shop and immediately thought of you.
James watched Gordon as he pulled away with the express. Deep down, he couldn't help feeling jealous.
I wish I could pull the express.
Don't worry, James. I'm sure you will one day and you'll do great.
Thanks. Nice new doors, by the way.
Thank you. They look great, don't they? I'm so happy. Oh, man.
James, can you bring Henry's coaches to the platform for him? His fire keeps going out, so he'll most likely be delayed. We don't need to add that on to him having to get his coaches.
Yes, sir. Right away.
James had brought the coaches to the platform and was just being uncoupled when he heard a mournful, quiet hissing.
Hello, Gordon. Is it tomorrow?
No, it was lost for me. I was switched off the main line onto the loop. I had to go all around and back again.
Did you lose your way?
Now, I understand you're all probably upset, but I promise you, we'll get you on a new train very shortly. Gordon, I am not happy with you. You have made this train late, and as a result, I do not want you to take the new train.
But, sir, who will take the train then?
James, Gordon will not be taking the express today. Would you pull it for us?
Oh, yes, sir. I will certainly try.
That's a good engine. As for you, Gordon, you can shunt in the yards for the other engines.
Shunt? But, sir, tender engines don't shunt.
I think you find you can, and you will, Gordon.
Oh.
Gordon puffed angrily away from the train, and James took his place, beaming with excitement.
Just do your best, James.
Way to go, James!
Come along, come along.
Stations and bridges flashed by. James was having the time of his life, and the passengers were singing his praises. At last, he arrived at the end of the line. The passengers cheered and thanked him for a splendid ride.
Well done, James. You're a really useful engine. How would you like to pull the express sometimes?
Oh yes, please, sir. It would be an honour.
James arrived back at Knapford right on time. Gordon was still shunting in the yards. Only this time, James noticed something different.
Hello, Gordon. Did you forget which way to face?
No, I was too large to fit on the turntable.
Too large?
It's not funny. The wind was blowing against me. Might happen to any engine.
Not me. I'm not as large as you. Now be a dear and take my coaches away.
James stopped in the right place to balance the table. It could now swing easily. Suddenly, a large gust of wind swept around the sheds. James began to turn faster.
Whoa, this is a little fast. Stop! Whoa! Whoa, whoa, whoa! Stop this! Stop! Stop! Oh my!
Well. Are you playing roundabouts?
Wow, James! You were spinning around like a record, and...
James, feeling very sick and very silly, rolled off to the shed without another word. That night, the shed was very quiet. Edward was out taking the mail, and Thomas was back on his branch line, leaving Henry, Gordon, and James alone.
You know what? It's shameful to treat us tender engines like this. Think about it. Henry gets shut in a tunnel, James spins around like a top, and we, the important engines, have to shunt in those dirty sidings. Something needs to be done.
What are you suggesting?
I propose we go on strike.
A strike?
Yes. We don't do any work until we get the respect we deserve.
Agreed. I'm tired of being late because I have to fetch my own coaches, and have Thomas tease me when I'm late to the junction.
That might not be such a bad idea.
Right. That's settled then. We'll do it tomorrow. The fat controller will look silly.
Come in.
Sorry to bother you, sir, but there's trouble in the sheds. Henry is sulking, there are no trains, and the passengers are saying that this is a bad railway.
Indeed. Well, we can't allow that.
Oi, Topham, I have a word with you.
Will you quieten those passengers, please? I will go deal with Henry. Come along, Henry. It's time your train was ready.
Henry's not going. We won't shunt like common tank engines. That was Thomas's job. We are important tender engines. You fetch our coaches, and we will pull them. Tender engines don't shunt.
Ah, well, we'll see about that. Engines on my railway do as they're told. The yard has never been the same since Thomas left to run his branch line.
Do you think he's going to listen to us?
He didn't seem very convinced to me.
Have faith, my dear engines. He'll be crawling back to our buffers soon enough.
Edward was having a rest in the yards after carrying the mail when the fat controller walked up to him.
Ah, there you are, Edward. I need you to shunt coaches today.
Oh, yes, sir.
Now, that's a good engine. I knew I could count on you. Off you go now.
Edward quickly set to work and shunted the lines of coaches to the platforms, and the trains ran to time.
Oh my! What a noise!
They all wish me, sir. And they even say I have gray wheels. I haven't. Have I, sir?
No, Edward. You have nice blue ones, and I'm proud of the work you've done today. But all the same, we do need another tank engine here. And I think I know just the place to find one. And keep up the good work, Edward.
I will, sir.
Ah, Sir Topham. So nice to see you here again.
Glad you could take the time to meet with me.
For you, Topham, anything. What can I help you with?
Well, I'm looking to find a new tank engine for my railway. Someone that's good at shunting.
Right this way, then. I have a lovely selection of tank engines, Topham. You will absolutely adore it.
Absolutely floored by the lovely selection of tank engines at my disposal. You're just going to be enthralled and you're going to...
I don't really think any of these fit what I'm looking for. They all seem a bit too... big. Do you have anything smaller?
Well, not really. I have a nice new 14XX if you'd like to...
Oops, sorry.
Ugh, watch out!
Keep your eyes open, you little runt.
Clumsy wheels.
Who's that?
That? Oh, that's nothing. Just a clumsy little shunter. Don't mind him.
Does he have a name?
Oh, no. He just does odd jobs around grounds.
Hello there. Who are you?
Oh, hello, sir. I'm afraid I don't really have a name. Well, not a real one, anyway.
And are you a hard worker?
Oh, yes, sir. I do whatever needs to be done.
Oh, you don't need to bother with him, sir. I'm sure we can find you a better engine.
If I choose you, will you work hard?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's the one. I'll take him.
Are you sure, Sir Topham? I might have an N2 with your name on it.
Yes, I'm quite sure.
If you say so, Topham. But remember, no refunds.
No need to worry about that. I have a feeling he will do just fine. Now, let's give you a name, shall we? I think we'll call you, Percy. Do you like that?
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right then, Percy. Let's get you to your new home. Ah, Edward, I'd like you to meet Percy.
Nice to meet you, Percy. Welcome to Sodor. I'm Edward.
Thank you, Edward. I love it here already.
Please show him what he needs to do.
Yes, sir. Come with me, Percy. I'll show you what to do.
Right behind you, Edward.
Later, Henry came into the art to collect his train. As he did, he wheezed steam at Edward.
Oh my!
How beautifully you wheeshed him. I can't wheesh like that.
Oh, that was nothing. Back at the workshops, you have to wheeze loudly to make yourself heard.
Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Edward. Oh, who are you?
My name's Percy. Nice to meet you. Thomas, was it?
That's right. Nice to meet you too, Percy.
What are you doing here, though, Thomas? Shouldn't you be on your branch line?
The Fat Controller sent for me. I expect he wants help.
Indeed I do, Thomas. Well done for being here so quickly. Now, Henry, Gordon and James are sulking. They say they won't shunt like common tank engines. So I've shut them up in the shed, and I want you and Edward to run the line.
Common tank engines indeed? We'll show them.
And Percy here will help too.
Oh, yes, sir. Please, sir.
Right. Thomas and Edward, I want you to run the main line, and Percy, I want you to run the branch line.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
That's what I like to hear. Now off you go.
Thomas and Edward quickly set to work puffing up and down the main line, whistling to each other as they passed. Percy puffed along the branch line with Annie and Clarabelle. Thomas had been anxious about giving his coaches away, but Percy promised to take good care of them.
Everyone okay back there?
Oh, yes, Percy. You are doing a wonderful job. So polite, isn't he, Annie? He reminds me of Thomas.
Henry, Gordon, and James stayed shut up in the shed. They were cold, lonely, and miserable. They wished now they hadn't been so silly and longed to be let out. But that's another story.
So shine your light ahead to face the man on. Charge into the dark tunnel, emerge from the other side as strong. To climb your steepest mountain, you gotta find your inner guiding light. Unearth the courage you've always had to make tracks to a future so bright.